guys, welcome to my channel. How's it going? I hope you're all doing really well. From the title you will see this is my 31 and 32 week pregnancy update with baby number 3. If it is your first time here, I'm Lucy. I am 35. I have 2 little girls who are 3 and 4, soon to be 4 and 5, and I am pregnant with baby number 3 who is a little boy. Yeah, so weeks 31 and 32, quite a lot's happened. And we'll start from week, I'm over 32 weeks now, but we'll start from week 31 because I missed it. I do read from the Baby Centre website. I'll link it down below for you guys. But it basically says, this week your baby weighs the same as a coconut, about 3.3 pounds, and is looking more like a newborn as they start to shed their lanugo hair. He measures about 16.2 inches from crown to heel. Believe it or not, your baby has plenty of growing to do. You can expect him to gain at least 900 grams before birth. His wrinkled skin will slowly become more smooth as he fills out. Did you know that the food you eat during pregnancy may give you amniotic fluids, flavours and smells? I eat loads of spicy crisps, so that sounds gross. The baby's brain and taste buds are mature enough now for him to taste these flavours in the fluid if he swallows. There is even evidence to suggest that the food you eat in pregnancy will shape your baby's food preferences when they start solid foods. So he may well like spicy stuff. Your baby's growing bigger all the time, so there will soon be less room for him to move around in your womb. Due to the limited space, he's now likely to have his legs drawn up to his chest, like tucked up. Assuming the classic fetal position. Although he has less room to move, your baby will still be active in this position. You may notice that his kicks and budges start to feel different in your 3rd trimester, but his movement pattern will be the same. So that was week 31. So that was last week. So last week I started itching at the beginning, just after I was just before I was 31 weeks, I think. I started itching all over, but predominantly on my hands and on the bottoms of my feet. I called the midwife just because I had this with the girls, and there's something called obstetric cholestasis. I think I'm pronouncing that right. I'll put it on the screen, where one of the main signs is itching. And I'll put a proper link to it because it's quite difficult to explain. But it's something to do with your liver and your bile acids. And basically, there's 2 kinds of acids in your, or these 2 kind of levels they monitor in your bloods. So they took my blood on Wednesday and said I'd hear back by Friday. And when I was pregnant with the girls, they checked me because I was itching. And they got me straight into the hospital, and I didn't know why. This is when I was pregnant with Mika, my first, and they said you need to come straight up to the hospital. But it was later. I think I was about 36, 37 weeks with Mika when it started. And they said you need to come to the hospital now. So me and Ben rushed up the hospital, and they said your alkaline phosphate or phosphate something, I'll put it on the screen, levels are really high, which can be like a pre-marker or something to obstetric cholestasis. And they said if we're gonna do this test, if it comes back positive, we're gonna be inducing you in the next few days. And this is what I was just like, what? And this was, I remember just being like, oh my god, this is insane. My first baby, didn't know what I was expecting. However, it came back, I didn't have it, but they did weekly blood tests from then on to make sure that me and the baby were fine. And then after I had her, I got a letter from my consultant saying that my alk phos levels were higher than they'd like during the pregnancy, although they went down afterwards, and they wanted me to be monitored in any future pregnancies. And I was monitored with Aria, same thing again, a couple of times. They panicked, brought me in and was like, we need to monitor you and make sure the baby's okay. Baby was fine, never actually had it. And then this time when I booked in, I mentioned it to the midwife, and she said, well, can you find a letter for me? And we've moved 4 times since I had Mika, and I couldn't find this letter from the doctors. And for some reason, they didn't have it on record. But I was like, I can't remember what it is, but the doctors wanted me to be monitored in pregnancy. And they couldn't find a record of it, so they didn't. And then I started itching, went and had the bloods done, blah blah blah. And then on Friday night, me and Ben were cleaning, and I found the letter in a drawer from my consultant from January 2015, after I'd had Mika, saying we want you to be monitored. So I said, right, well, I'll take that to the consultant because we're going on Tuesday anyway. And then I hadn't really felt the baby move very much on Thursday and Friday. He's normally like super active to the point where if I had my hand on my belly, he moves it like this because he's just always moving. And I hadn't really felt it. I felt a few movements, don't get me wrong. I had felt movements, but they weren't his normal movements. And they were a lot less. So I rang up Medicom, which in our area is like a 24-hour midwife line where you can speak to a midwife. And they basically said because I was over 28 weeks, I had to ring Delivery Suite. So I called Delivery Suite, and they said come up and we'll put you on the trace and we'll check. So up I went on Saturday, and they put me on the trace, and obviously, because this always happens, he started to move, and he was really active, which was amazing. It was really lovely that he is okay, but it just makes you feel a bit of a knob for like not feeling the movements. But they just said he could have just been having like a slow couple of days. But they did say, and they did drum it into me, don't ever feel like you're wasting time. If you feel like your baby's movements have changed, call, don't put off. I was stupid leaving it 2 days, absolutely stupid. But they said it's not, for the sake of being on a trace for 20 minutes to put your mind at rest and to know the baby's okay, don't ever feel bad for ringing. They also got my blood results back, and my bile acids were 4, and they don't start to worry until it's closer to 10. However, my alk phos levels, I think I meant to be between 70 and 140, and mine were 390. So they made me stay and see a doctor, and they gave me some stuff for the itching, which isn't really helping, to be honest, and said I need weekly monitoring now just to make sure these levels aren't going to go up any higher. So yeah, it was a really busy week. But other than that, the only symptoms I've really had is cramp, predominantly in my right calf and my right foot, and my carpal tunnel, which has got worse. But I am currently using this deep freeze roll on, and this company Deep Freeze, they sent me these for free to test. They're drug free, and I just put it on at night time, really coat my wrists with it, and then put on a tubey grip bandage so I don't accidentally wipe it in my eyes, and it is helping. It is making it so before, like if I was going to bed at 10 after Love Island, my arm was dead within like half an hour, whereas now I'm managing to get to like 3 or 4 o'clock without my arm going dead, which is amazing. And at that point I just take the bandage off, put more on, and then put it back on again, and it's helping so much. So that's really good. They are trying to refer me for the needles, acupuncture, to see if that can help with the carpal tunnel as well, just because it's starting to affect me while I'm driving, and they've kind of said, well, just don't drive. But we literally live in the middle of nowhere. You can't walk anywhere from our house because the roads are so small and windy, and it's just not safe. So I can't not drive and have to take the kids to nursery, obviously. What else? No sickness last week, no nausea, just other than the bloods thing, it was a really good week. So 32 weeks. Let me get it up on here and tell you about the baby. Okay, 32 weeks. Your baby now weighs about 3.7 pounds and is as long as a kale leaf. That doesn't mean anything to me. 16.7 inches. From 32 weeks, babies born early have a good chance of surviving and thriving, although they may need some help to breathe at first. Your baby's fingernails and toenails are now fully formed, and if they get an itch, they may gently scratch themselves. The hair is getting thicker, but it may thin out after birth. By this stage, your baby should be getting ready for birth by lying in the womb with head pointing down. This baby is head down. They the midwife felt me at about 24 weeks and said he was down, and I had my growth scan at 28 weeks and they said he was head down. Not that it matters because he's going to be a C-section. And it says most babies adopt this position by 36 weeks. And that's all it says this week. There's not a lot, doesn't say much. So 32 weeks, I woke up and on 32 weeks and I hadn't had the best night's sleep, and I got up and I felt a little bit sick, and I haven't felt sick in like 5 weeks. And got up, had my breakfast, and then as soon as I eat my breakfast, I threw it up. I knew I was going to be sick. I just felt absolutely horrendous. So I was sick for the first time in, it's easily 5 or 6 weeks, I think, that I haven't been sick. But I puked up all my breakfast and then just felt really drained. So I ended up going back to bed for 2 hours. Luckily it was a weekend, so Ben could just have the girls. And then I got up again, had some toast, and felt sick again. As soon as I'd eaten, I felt sick, and I just ended up going back to bed for another 2 hours. And I slept this whole time solid. Like when I was in bed, I was literally just head in the pillow and zonked straight out, and that never happens. I'm not a very good sleeper anyway, but I obviously needed it. And then got up again, had another bit of toast because I was just so hungry, but I couldn't face anything other than toast. And then I just ended up sitting on the sofa all day with the girls while they played. They played in the house and they played in the garden, and Ben was doing DIY stuff. And then he put them to bed, and he got me some chips from the local pub as a takeaway, because I just wanted something carby but was plain. So he got me some chips and they were yummy. And then I woke up today and I feel fine. So I've had a cup of tea, I've had my breakfast. No idea what it was, but yesterday I just felt horrendous, like absolutely awful. Have not felt that bad for so long. But yeah, I'm just a bit tired, which is why I look like I'm very tired. But I don't really care, to be honest. I've got my friend coming around today with her newborn, who's like 3 or 4 weeks old. I'm very excited to see her. But yeah, that is, I'm only 32 weeks in 1 day, so I shouldn't really be doing this update now, but I am, because then it's done. I don't have to do until next week. But yeah, so far 32 weeks has not been the nicest with the sickness and stuff, but I'm hoping it was just 24 hours. I don't know whether maybe because I've been in the hospital all day the day before, or I don't know. There could be a multitude of reasons of why I felt sick yesterday. I could have eaten something without realising it that the baby didn't like, or who knows. Anyway, so belly. I'll show you the belly. Let me try and just move you a second. Okay, so belly. The midwives at the hospital said I am measuring it perfectly for 32 weeks. My belly button's still in. It's never actually gone out, if I'm honest. The stretch marks are just coming just here. There's just a few little tiny ones, but other than that, there is no stretch marks coming, just these little ones here, which I'm fine with. He's really solid. I can just feel hard baby lumps. Oh, yeah, I think that's about it. We have nearly finished the nursery. All the 0 to 3 month, or like newborn to 3 month baby clothes are washed and folded in his bedroom. I need to get the monitor still. My cheeky wipes should be coming this week, which I'm very excited about. But I think that's it. This is a really long update. I'm really sorry, but it is for 2 weeks and a lot has happened. Heartburn is still very much alive in my throat. I am still taking my heartburn medication every day. I did take an anti-sickness yesterday because of how sick I felt, and I've taken one today just to be safe, because I've got a lot to do today and I don't want to end up being sick, so I have taken one. But that does only leave me with 7 more tablets, and they will not give me any more, obviously, unless it gets really bad. Oh yeah, this is how bad my itching was. I bit off all my nails because I didn't want to scratch myself, so I just sat on it and I literally just ripped them all off, so they're really short, and then I can itch without worrying about breaking the skin or like scarring or anything, especially at night time when you're asleep and you itch and you don't realise you're doing it. When you've got long nails, you can do some serious damage. So the nails have all gone. Yeah, let me know how you're getting on in your pregnancy, if you've just found out what you're having, what you're craving, what you're not craving. Let me know. Yesterday all the smells made me feel sick as well, literally all the smells. My next door neighbour was cutting his lawn, and the smell of the grass and the petrol mower. And the girls had green cheesy pasta for dinner and they smelled like garlic, and they were trying to kiss me, and I was just like, I'm sorry, I really can't kiss you, it was horrible. And then they kept farting on me because they thought it was funny. Yeah, that's it. Let me know if you like these videos. If you do, please do give it a big fat thumbs up. You should definitely subscribe to my channel for more fun stuff to come. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all next week. Bye guys.